listening to the Erotic Realm podcast. I'm your host, Em, a psychosexuality nerd with a background in psychology and a 24/7 lifestyle kinkster. Here on the Erotic Realm, we delve into the depths of erotic psychology, unpacking the mysteries of desire, the stories that shape our sexuality, and the unique ways we connect with ourselves and others. My mission is to create a space for introspection, education, and open conversations that not only challenge how we think about eroticism, but also humanize kinksters by sharing authentic stories and insights into their lives. Before we get started, I'd just like to take a moment to thank you for so much for tuning in and supporting me from the very beginning. We're now 1 month deep into the podcast, and it's been quite the ride so far. This is my first adventure into podcasting, so I'm learning as I go, but I promise it's only going to get better from here. If you enjoy what you hear, don't forget to follow the show and leave a rating. It helps more people discover the erotic realm. Before we get started, I'd like to just take another moment to thank today's sponsor, Adult Bliss. Adult Bliss is Adelaide's ultimate destination for kink and sexual wellness. Just a 10-minute drive from the CBD, Adult Bliss has proudly supported the kink scene for years, offering the best selection of gear, including unique, locally made treasures you won't find anywhere else. But they're more than just a store. Adult Bliss is Adelaide's top-rated sexual health and wellness hub, with expert advice, a blog packed with insightful reads, and monthly kink and sexual health workshops that keep things exciting and educational. Whether you're exploring new fantasies or looking to deepen your sexual wellness journey, they've got you covered. Visit adultbliss.au and use the code EroticRealm25 for a cheeky discount of 15% off and a free gift. Now it's time to introduce today's guest. The following is a conversation with Jules, a submissive masochist, primal prey, and edge player whose erotic journey is deeply intertwined with storytelling, chronic pain, and the exploration of taboo desires. Jules has navigated the fluid nature of sexuality and kink through their experiences as a phone sex worker, a passionate masochist, and someone who uses BDSM as a means of reclaiming power over their pain. Their journey is one of transformation, shifting from fantasy into real-world experiences of edge play, CNC, and the depths of submission. In this episode, we dive into the psychology of pain, the role of storytelling in erotic exploration, and how BDSM can be both liberating and therapeutic. Prepare for an intimate and thought-provoking conversation about power, pleasure, and the evolving nature of desire. Hi everyone, and welcome to the Erotic Realm podcast. I'm so excited to have Jules with me today. It's a pleasure to have you here, Jules.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So I'd like
It's
to
nice
start...
to talk to everyone.
Yeah, happy to have you here. I'd like to start things off by diving straight into your erotic world. If you had to sum up your sexuality, how would you describe it, Jules?
My sexuality right now, I'm blazing.
Blazing?
I'm blazing. I am blazing right now. I've just come out of a long marriage and I rediscovered my bisexuality and I'm kind of out in the world exploring myself. So yeah.
Okay,
and
cool.
I've recently come out as non-binary as well. And so that's pretty exciting. A lot of big changes.
Wonderful. How exciting for you. And what about your kinky identity? What roles do you inhabit when it comes to your kinky sexuality?
I'm a masochist, first and foremost, definitely. I'm submissive in the bedroom as well. This is something I'm still exploring and how my submissiveness comes out in the bedroom. But my masochism is definitely my core of my kinkiness. And that leads into things like edge play and into rougher, harder things and all the fun stuff. Well, it's all fun stuff. But
Cool. So you mentioned identifying as both bisexual and
Mhm.
genderqueer. Can you tell us more about each of those and what they mean to you?
Um, I initially chose non-binary, and recently I've been in the workplace and kind of experiencing a lot of different pronouns people use, of course, and I'm finding there's a lot of pronouns that fit more than they, them, and she, her, and I'm kind of in the process of sorting myself out, so I felt genderqueer suits me at this point in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually I think I'll level it out, but it's a whole new world for me.
Mm-hmm. And what about bisexual? What does that mean to you?
For me, bisexual means that I'm attracted to more than one gender, and I chose bisexuality because I am attracted to genders at different levels. And again, this is something I'm learning, and but that's bisexuality for me.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. And what has it been like exploring your bisexuality? It's been pretty recent, yeah?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I came out to my ex a couple years ago, but
Mm-hmm.
it was only this year I've been exploring, and it has been terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes, it has been terrifying, but it has been exciting, and I'm loving it. I'm loving meeting new people and different genders, and it's been wonderful. It's been a fun but terrifying experience.
What's terrifying about it?
It's more meeting, especially dating women or trans femme. It's different than what I grew up with and
Mm.
what was conditioned in my mind as what dating should be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure, yes. And that's so when I go to date on a date with women, it's more, it flows differently and I'm not used to it. And I'm trying to get the vibe and realizing that there's different ways of dating and there's different ways of having relationships. I went on dates with people who are polyamorous and learned a lot about that. So it's been an experience and a lot of fun, and it's terrifying mostly because it's because it's new. I think I'm 37 now,
Mm-hmm.
so at 37 it's a bit scary,
Mm-hmm.
but I've been enjoying it, so it's all good for
What
me.
would you say is the biggest difference between dating men and going out with trans femme people? What's the biggest difference between the two that you've noticed?
Oh gosh, um, definitely the intimacy, the emotional intimacy is a
Mm-hmm.
lot different. There's definitely more talking about our lives when I go on dates with women.
Mm.
And with men, it's usually we stick with hobbies and things, movies and things we've seen. It's just more of a conversational uh, friendship vibe opposed to getting into the intimacy part.
Okay,
I think
that's
that was
really.
the big change. The
Mm-hmm.
change for me. Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't have a whole lot of experience, so that is for my experience so far.
And you mentioned that you came out to your ex a couple of years ago. Did you realize that you were bisexual then, or was it a process that you'd been going through for a while?
It was I realized it then. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
it more of all the pieces fit together. It was
Mm-hmm.
like a whole bunch of a pandemic, of course. I feel that a lot of people went through a lot of self-discovery during the pandemic, and that really solidified it for me. And now that I look back at my childhood and different behaviors and things I was interested in and people I was interested in, it's like, oh, light bulb.
Mm-hmm.
That, yeah, it made sense and it fit. And
Yeah, it's really
yeah.
interesting how
Mhm.
you can look back at yourself throughout your whole life, including your childhood, your teenage years, and have that light bulb moment where it's like, oh, of course I am that way. I should have known earlier. It's really strange how that can
Yes.
happen. Mm-hmm.
It is strange, and that's exactly what happened,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
I wanted to ask you about this quote from someone called Harry Neff, who is an American actress. And they once said that sexuality is who you want to be with, whereas gender identity is who you want to be in the world. And I love how this quote captures the interplay between how we connect with others and how we define ourselves. For you, as someone who identifies as non binary and genderqueer and explores fluidity in both gender and sexuality, how do you see these two aspects? Does the quote resonate with you, or would you define sexuality and gender differently?
This is a fantastic quote,
Mm-hmm.
and I regret not knowing this quote much earlier because it would have been wonderful to be able to explain it to my ex and to my family as well. And because this is it, is sexuality is who I want to be with,
Mm.
and but gender identity is who I am, my authentic self, who I
Mm.
want to be in my life, in my work, in my social life, in traveling.
Mm-hmm.
It's who I am. And sexuality is there as well, and who I choose to be with. And yeah, that's a wonderful quote. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you for sharing that with me.
Yeah, it's something to keep in mind with helping people understand the difference between the two, right?
Yes, it
Mm-hmm.
is.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to ask you about your masochism. So,
Okay.
can you tell us what masochism means for you, and what is it about pain that brings you pleasure?
I love my masochism.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of my most favorite parts about myself. And masochism is that I become sexually aroused through pain.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I definitely, a lot of people tend to misunderstand in my personal life that it doesn't mean if I stub my toe, I'm going to get aroused.
Mm-hmm.
But that happens a lot actually. It's like, yeah. But and so in a sexual context, I become aroused when I'm given pain of any sort. I'm still exploring what kind of pain I like the most,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a lot of fun, and I absolutely adore it. And it took a long time for me to accept that as well. That was a very long process that I've been working since I was in my early 20s. It's because when I realized it, it's like how can I get pleasure out of this? This feels so wrong.
Mm.
It's like, and I'm big into edge play as well. It's like I shouldn't like these things. Like, what's wrong with me?
Mm-hmm.
And throughout the years, I've learned to accept it. Now I absolutely adore
Wonderful. So, how did you
it.
learn how to accept this part of yourself? What was that process like?
A lot of what let's see. It started with Literotica.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Way back when. That was my first introduction to erotic novels. And then it's like, oh, wow, other people feel like me. They write things.
Mm-hmm.
And I did play with Kinky with my ex. Um, he's he's not he's vanilla, but he was very good with me and very good at giving me pain.
Mm-hmm.
And so we explored that way as well. We tried different implements that time me up, and it was all a wonderful experience. But I didn't really truly accept it until I got sick
Mm-hmm.
and I started having chronic pain.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's kind of like to the forefront that I'm in pain all the time
Mm.
and I'm accepting it as a part of my life. And then so it's like, then I can accept my masochism as a
Mm.
part of my life. Like, why, like, because they're both dealing with the nervous system, they're both dealing with all the hormones that goes on. And So if I can accept that I'm in pain, then I accept I gain pleasure from pain. Like there's nothing wrong with that. And it was a beautiful moment for me.
Mm. Yeah, I'd like to go deeper into that actually. I wanted to ask you more about chronic pain.
Mm-hmm.
There's a research article I have here which is titled Chronic Pain as Fluid, BDSM as Control. And this study explores how individuals with chronic pain engage with BDSM as a means of exerting control over their pain and bodies. So, in the study, they discuss how individuals with chronic pain use BDSM in particular to reinterpret their pain experiences. Has this happened for you with BDSM practices? Has it influenced your perception of pain related to your chronic condition?
Oh, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. To kind of continue on, well, I already spoke about it a little, so to expand upon that, it's more of an acceptance,
Mm.
I think, for me. It was accepting, it helped me having pain, um, being masochistic, having pain during sex. Sorry, it's a little emotional.
It's
Um,
okay.
it's, uh,
Take your time.
yeah. Okay, I'll take a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. It allowed me to accept my body as it is.
Mm.
BDSM um, has gained, of course, when I have so much pain during sex, I do reach a level where the pain disappears
Mm.
for a short time. That happens. And
Mm-hmm.
that's wonderful, of course. Um, but that's not necessarily my goal as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's feeling, feeling the pain, accepting that it's there, accepting that it's giving me pleasure. And one thing I was thinking about this topic, and I've done a lot of considering, and the biggest thing for me as well is that my pain is seen.
Mm.
So people with chronic pain, we all know that it is not socially acceptable to be in pain.
Mm-hmm.
We're not allowed to show it. We're not allowed to talk about it. At least
Mm.
where I am is not advised. And being with a sadist or someone who enjoys giving pain, they get to see me in pain and they enjoy it.
Mm.
And that is really heavy for me emotionally and yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
psychologically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's not spoken about, right? Like you never hear about this conversation in terms of chronic pain by itself, and then BDSM and pain and sadism, and then putting the two together. It's
Mhm.
yeah, a lot of taboo topics put together there, and the fact that it's actually healing for you as well. It's something that needs to be spoken about more. So I really appreciate you sharing that.
Oh, thank you.
Mm.
Thank you for providing space. It's a topic close to my heart, as they say.
Mm-hmm. So, in what ways has participating in BDSM allowed you to manage or reinterpret your chronic pain? So, is it just that it allows you to be seen with it, or do you use it as a management for pain? Is it something that you turn to on a regular basis? Can you tell us a little bit more about how BDSM and chronic pain intersect in your life?
Mm. Um, I don't use it in a way as to reduce my pain,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately. Um, Currently I'm on a subsidy kind of thing. So I'm more of a, we'll talk about it further, I think, as we go. But I've been finding other avenues that will satisfy the masochism and my submissiveness as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I can kind of expand on that when
Please
we
do.
get, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, because we were going to talk about the phone sex work.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And yes, and that has been quite an experience for
Mm-hmm.
me as a masochist. And as I just said, I'm not dating at the moment. So this has been a way that I've been exploring myself, which is not what I intended at all when I started it. Um, I began starting it because I was having a lot of fun on different apps. And I was like, oh, I'm pretty good at this. So I joined a site and yeah, it's quite successful. And I I advertise as a masochist mainly,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm a submissive as well. And I've been very fortunate that I do have several regular customers who are dominants and sadists who enjoy the fact that I give myself pain, whether I use a wooden paddle on myself or use nipple clamps. Um, that is actually fulfilling for me, being following orders from somebody
Mm-hmm.
and giving myself pain, which is not what I expected because you would assume you would need somebody else to give you pain in order to get the benefits.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
But I can do it myself.
Mm.
And so that was a really eye-opening experience. Um, I would like to put a disclaimer. I do not recommend sex work as a form of self exploration. This is I kind of fell into this,
Mm-hmm.
but it's been a lot of fun.
So, do you find the experience of your masochism as intense while doing phone sex work as opposed to with another person in person?
At this point in my life where I'm still healing and learning about myself,
Mm-hmm.
I do find that phone sex and doing the masochism acts, sorry, my pronunciation, um, on myself is very satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
And now that we're talking about it, I'm thinking that maybe it's an act of eroticism that I'm doing for myself. I'm
Mm-hmm.
learning what kind of pain I like,
Mm.
how hard I can pull the nipple clamps, how hard I can hit myself with a paddle.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm learning about my body. And so, and I'm gaining a lot of satisfaction in having that power over myself, opposed to giving it to somebody else
Mm-hmm.
at this point in my life.
Yeah,
So,
I was just
yeah.
thinking you ultimately have the level of control over the pain, right? Like there's someone involved, but
Yes,
it's you that's doing it. So you're fully in control of exploring that pain for yourself.
exactly.
Mm, I love it. So, what have you learned about the psychology of kinks and fantasy and eroticism in general from your interactions with clients?
Oh, wow.
Mm,
There, I have learned, uh, first and foremost, I learned really fast how to set boundaries and how
mm,
to say no.
mm-hmm,
I learned that fast because they will take advantage of you when you first start. So I learned that great. But now that I'm settled, there are so many kinks and so many ways that customers want to experience sadism or dominance. Sometimes I'll get customers who call and they're like, I have these feelings like I want to hurt someone, but I'm ashamed of it,
mm,
and I don't know how to do this. So I talk them through and say, we have safe words and I'm good at with boundaries, and then they can explore telling
mm-hmm,
me to do certain things. And because I find there is a very large stigma, especially in the kink aspect of sex work, that I'm getting uh, people or customers who want to legitimately hurt me, and they want to stalk me and find out where I am. But no, it's people who want outlets for their kink, and I'm able to provide that and allow them to explore it. And I've been shown many different ways of doing things. I've also have customers who've shown me different kinks. And I believe I lost the train of thought on the question. It's been really exciting, and I'm learning so much.
Yeah, I was just asking you what you've learned in general, and I guess I'd like to learn from you more about what are the most common kinks that you encounter as a phone sex worker.
Spanking, of course. Let's see. Spanking, clamps. Anal is very popular.
Okay.
And I have the feeling anal is very popular because, well, it hurts. And
okay.
Yeah, customers see that I'm a masochist and they want anal. And yeah, it goes from there. And that was surprising. I'm very surprised how often I get asked for anal. But let's see. Essentially, one of the things that surprised me the most, because it's very obvious that I'm BDSM masochist on my ad. And I get vanilla guys. And they're so scared. They don't know what they're asking for. But yeah, I'll start with clamps. Clamps are very popular. Clover clamps, especially, which I enjoy. One of the things that I get a lot as well are people who call me and they want to tell me a fantasy. So they will create this story, this fantasy, and they'll describe it to me. And at this point, like while we're doing this, like I'm doing my thing and to respond to their story. And that's what happens the most, actually, which is very surprising. It's very surprising. They want me to masturbate to their stories.
So do you think it's a kind of like a process of catharsis for them? They want someone to hear their fantasy that they haven't been able to share with anyone else?
Yes, exactly.
Can you give us an example of a fantasy that someone shared with you that you stuck in your mind for whatever reason?
I don't want to say too many because I have burglars. They still contact me, and even though this is phone sex and there is no confidentiality, I still do respect consent. And this is something they're sharing that is very vulnerable. And so I don't feel too comfortable sharing that aspect because, yeah, but
what I'm trying to think of a common theme perhaps in the fantasies that you've noticed?
No, there is everything that you can think of. These customers will think of whether it's me tied up and I'm being ravaged by a bunch of men, or it's me just being tied up from the ceiling and they're using an electric wand. There's so many ways. Mostly I'll go back to anal. Mostly anal. But common theme. Control. They want control. They want control over my pleasure. That is definitely the common thing. When I get callers, they want me to be pleasured. They want me to orgasm. And that is the core. I know I'm very fortunate because I know a lot of sex workers do not get this kind of treatment at all. But my regulars want me to orgasm, and they want to tell me what pleases them and what pleases me. And I've been fortunate and lucky.
That might be surprising for some people to hear because you say that you advertise as a masochist. So a lot of people might assume that you're getting people calling up just wanting to hurt you, but they're wanting to give you pleasure.
They like me being pleasured from being hurt.
Mm-hmm.
That's what gets them off.
Yeah.
So I'll be here's a good example actually. So I have a regular anal customer, and I'm really good with anal and hurt and making things hurt, if that's not TMI.
No.
And so he like so I'll do it and it'll hurt. And I'm making sounds like it hurts. And he's loving it. But then he'll like, you really like this, don't you? And it's like, yes. Now, mind you, it is in a consensual setting. I should clarify that.
Mm-hmm.
But these men, they want to know that I enjoy the pain.
Mm-hmm.
And they want me to orgasm from the pain.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I think about it, I'm kind of going to avoid going into any certain psychology of it.
Yep.
But so far, it's okay experience for me. I have not received anything bad.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. What's the one thing you'd like others to know about phone sex work that you rarely hear spoken about?
Is that biggest thing is that when sex workers are going into kink settings, especially with phone sex, and we're doming or submitting, is that we have so much power over the customer's emotions. This is very important to me that consent goes both ways, and especially the newbies that I get, and they don't know what they want. They don't know, and like I might be their first experience in the kink, and I don't want to leave them with a negative experience that they would carry, because as we all know, BDSM is very emotional. It's very core to our personalities. So I would like people to realize and know that, yes, they're customers. Yes, there are a lot of not good men out there, but they're still people. And yeah, and consent. Yeah, I really go by consent. Always.
Yeah, humanizing sex work for both sides is very important, right? You're both people wanting to explore your sexuality and wanting to find a safe place ultimately to explore that. So it's very important that you offer that work.
You summarized it perfectly. Thank
you. As part of our conversation today, I asked you to bring along something to share, such as a quote, book, movie that has influenced your sexuality, Jules. Can you share with us what you've brought along?
It's really interesting.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I'm not sure I'm sure somebody will know. Alana, the First Adventure by Tamora Pierce.
Okay.
Instead of preteen books that I still have to this day. And it was my first introduction to like quote, quote, romance as much as teens could be. And the main character, Alana, she goes in to be a knight in her brother's place. So she goes dressed, cuts her hair, and she's a boy. And that was one of those little like light bulb moments that I probably realized along the way. But that definitely created or influenced my non-binary, genderqueer aspect of myself. It was also around this time that my sexuality started budding. And that's when the masochism and the edge play started kind of trickling in as well, and kind of expanded on different kidnapping fantasies and more of, I kind of would like to leave it at that. But the first adventure definitely influenced my non-binariness, my gender identity, as well as my sexuality,
Thanks for
as it was
sharing.
the first in my first introduction into romance and
I'll have to check it out. I haven't heard of it personally.
sex. While we were talking, I had this huge realization, and it's like everything I'm saying is kind of all sinking in. And I realized while I would like to say I don't recommend sex work, phone sex work, camming, anything to be an avenue to discover yourself. This is definitely, I don't want to imply that. However, I'm learning so much about myself. I'm learning to own my body, to value myself, to know what I'm worth. And I'm learning to take control of my masochism, and I'm learning about my body and my eroticism through this. It's been such a confidence booster,
Mm.
which is not what I expected at all when I started phone sex. And again, I've been very fortunate for the customers that I do have and who keep coming back. And it's just it's wild. It's wild to me that I'm able to discover so much about my sexuality and my kinks through something like this. Is what I never expected this in my life. It's yeah, and it was just kind of a huge, humongous light bulb as we were talking.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm really happy that you get so much from it. It sounds like a really empowering experience for you.
It has, yeah, I
hmm
really enjoy it.
I
It's fun
wanted
work.
I wanted to chat to you more about edge play specifically.
Hmm.
So, there's might be some listeners out there that haven't heard the term edge play. Could you define what it means for you and maybe speak to what excites you about it?
For me, I'm still new to edge play
hmm
in the terms and the world of it. So I'm speaking it from a very beginner's perspective. For me, edge play means dangerous kinks. Things that are, it's very important to know your limits, have boundaries, to know rack. And this is something I'm learning through FetLife, through different groups there. I'm doing classes. And it's the dangerous aspect of kink where you could be physically and mentally harmed.
hmm And
That's
you
edge
mentioned
play.
rack just in there. Can you tell us what rack is?
It's about finding your limits and knowing what you're willing to take.
hmm
Um, now I can't remember off the top of my head what it stands for,
That's okay. It's
but
risk
it's
aware
yeah.
consensual
Oh, thank
kink.
you.
Yep.
Yes, thank you.
hmm
That's slightly embarrassing. I still do. I'll have
It's
some
okay.
compassion for myself as
It's
well.
okay. It's hard. It's hard to remember things off the top of your head sometimes. It's fine.
Mm.
hmm
But yeah, it's important to be aware of in edge play of what you're getting into. And if you're playing with breath play, you have to realize that, you could be brain damaged or you can
Mm.
potentially like die. You need to realize that before you get into edge play activities.
hmm
And that's
And that's
important.
what being risk aware is all about, right? Understanding the risks before you take them. So you're going into it
Yeah.
consensually. And how do you
Yes.
prepare for going into more of these edgy kinks? Do you do something in particular to prepare emotionally and physically for them? Or is it more
Mhm.
so understanding the risks that's enough for you?
Unfortunately, most of my experience with edge play has not been according to Rock whatsoever.
Right.
With my ex, we kind of went in depth. He did a basic understanding on, how to choke safely,
hmm
but we didn't do it. We were very young, very, very new. And it's so that's something that we're very fortunate that everything worked out.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, I do edge play. I guess you could say. Oh, there is, there is a definite risk in doing edge play over the phone through my phone sex. There's, it can be dangerous. Even in like using stories and using my mind, you're still I'm putting myself into a fantasy. These things are still happening to me. If a customer is creating a story where I'm being choked, that's still an emotional impact for me. And I go into it being aware of my limits, having a safe aftercare set up afterwards, because I am, I don't role play as much as I probably should. I do kink through phone sex, so I do have boundaries, safe words. My customers know I have safe words. And but when I do any sort of risky imaginative play, I have set like afterwards I'll go get a cup of tea,
Mm-hmm.
or I'll get my udi. And oh yeah, udis are from Australia. So yeah, udi. Um I'll get my udi and a cup of tea. And that will be my self-care.
Mm-hmm.
Um and so that has been my experience so far with edge play. Hopefully one day when I feel that I'm ready and I can get out there and meet somebody, I'll be fully prepared and knowledgeable to be able to enter that space
Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
with some experience.
Another form of edge play is CNC, and you've mentioned that this is one of your main
Mhm.
kinks. Can you share with us
It
a little
is.
bit about that and what it is about CNC that excites you?
CNC has been my core kink for as long as I can remember, before I even knew what I was thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't under dubious consent CNC. That was always my thing. When I brought up the book, um, a lot of the fantasies that came from my budding sexuality was definitely kidnapping, dubious consent. I didn't realize what I was thinking. And what's exciting now that I'm older again, I finally accept that it's okay to enjoy it. That was definitely a long process as well, along with the masochism. But it's 100% loss of control. And for me, it's the fighting. I like to physically fight back
Mm-hmm.
and be overpowered. And that is a real turn on for me, being pinned. And it's, ah, CNC is awesome. Again, again. But for me, and currently for me, it's in my erotic literature. That is where I read most of my CNC now.
Mm-hmm.
And again, to expand on what we were talking about, until I can be sure I can set boundaries, say no, I won't go into situations with CNC until I know have confidence and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's I'm waving my arms in in the air. Yeah, it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and yeah,
Yeah, well,
I'm not sure.
I
Yeah.
hope you get to explore it when you're ready as much as you'd like to. I'm curious to hear
Yes.
from you. What advice would you offer to someone who feels shame about their fetishes or desires, especially if they're exploring taboo areas like CNC?
Well, first and foremost, of course, what goes on between consensual adults that are knowledgeable and healthy is their business.
Mm.
It's also nobody else's place to judge what you enjoy. And also, there's so many kinks out in the world. CNC is like not that like there's like people who like sitting on balloons. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's, it's hmm. I would also recommend finding erotic literature.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that a lot of my exploration into kink came from books and Kindle Unlimited. Oh, I shouldn't say different companies, but you can find anything there. If there's a kink, it will be there.
Mm-hmm.
And to explore, to read, to find your people. There are Facebook groups that are devoted to dark literature. And the more you read and you more talk to other people, it's not so scary. It's like, oh, like other people are into this. And I do wish I found something like that when I was younger.
Mm.
Of course, the internet wasn't as fantastic as it is now, but that's what I would recommend.
Mm-hmm. A great.
Reading,
Mm-hmm.
learning. Yeah.
Yeah, a great recommendation. You don't hear many people actually recommend lit erotica as a way to explore, so that's really helpful. Thank you.
No, you're welcome.
One
I
of
love it.
the Pardon?
Oh, I love my smut.
Yeah, I need to get into it more actually. I haven't explored it a lot. So yeah, maybe I'll ask you after we finish chatting for some recommendations of where to find some good stuff.
Sure. I love to.
One of the traditions on the podcast is asking a question sourced from one of the listeners. And today's listener question is, what's the one thing you wish everyone understood about kink and why?
Mm-hmm. That kink isn't always BDSM. Kink can be wanting to control somebody's orgasms.
Mm-hmm.
Kink can be pinning someone's hands above their head. There is such variety in the world of what we can do with sex, with kink and BDSM. Is not restricted to simply masochism, sadism, bondage, and yeah, that's the biggest thing. Yes, I was thinking about this, and I had a customer recently. He called. He was talking to me, texted first, and then he called, and I was like, are you kinky? He's like, no, I'm not really kinky. And he said, I like to control your orgasms, and I'm like, that's a total valid version of kinkiness. That's
Mm.
kink, and yeah, it was a fun time, but yeah, it's so broad.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have to fit into certain boxes in order to be kinky.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious to know about a peak sexual experience that you've had. What comes to mind when I ask you about a really sexy experience that stands out in your mind?
Hmm. Oh gosh. Recently, sex work has certainly given me some experiences. Um, I'll tell you something interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like goes with the masochism. I had a customer who creates stories for people. He calls women and he creates stories for them that arouses them, arouses and makes them orgasm. That's his thing.
Mm.
And so we did it, and we talked about different things and more dark elements. So he created an environment and a story that was so amazing that at the end, it was like an hour and a half call.
Whoa.
At the end of it, yeah, it's I was so relaxed and so deep and aroused into it that my pain went away.
Mm.
As if it was, I don't know. I don't know what happened, but I know it's not this. Oh, yeah, it is because I did orgasm, but it's a very unique experience that I will never forget.
Mm.
Never. I didn't think that I could gain so much pleasure by someone telling me a story.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask how long the pain went away for? Was it
Mm-hmm.
hours, minutes, days?
Mm-hmm. Oh, unfortunately. Oh man, that would be amazing. But
Mm.
probably an hour. An hour
Mm-hmm.
is usually the standard of any sort of kink for me.
Okay.
But it was definitely a more relaxed
Mm.
state of mind as
Mm.
well. almost meditative. It was, yeah, it was a wild experience. And I hope he never listens to this, but you never know. But yeah, that was the most amazing sexual experience that I've had.
Mm.
And I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, that's really
Yeah.
fascinating. It's a testament to the power of story, right? And how much we
Yeah.
resonate with story. And it's also really fascinating because it was an experience you had without another person physically there. And it was so
Yeah.
powerful in that it had such an impact on your body to the point where you didn't experience pain for an hour. Just that's
Mhm.
so powerful. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's amazing. Yeah.
Hmm. I love it.
Wow. I'm glad I thank you for the opportunity to share it.
Mm. You describe your sexuality as evolving a few times in our conversation. So, what's next for you, Jules? What are you looking forward to exploring?
Hmm. The biggest thing that has been coming up in my mind is exploring my submissiveness.
Hmm.
I Before going into phone sex, I questioned whether I was a submissive. And through the last few months, I have learned. So I'm trying to find out who I am in terms of being submissive. Who, like, who would I look for to dominate me? To who can I trust that much? And I think that will be my next thing in my life, event in my life,
Hmm.
is to find out who I am in terms of kink and my role. And because I know I'm not, I know. I'm still learning about who I am sexually.
Hmm.
And I'm really excited to find that someone who will put me on my knees and help me submit the way I want to.
Hmm.
And yeah, that's my goal
Mm.
after on my healing journey.
That's a great goal to have, and I'm really excited for you. And I wish you well in looking for that person.
Oh, thank you.
Mm. So, what would you like people to receive from listening to you speak about your erotic realm today, Jules?
Oh, I'm sorry.
What would you like people to receive from listening about you speak about your erotic realm today? What are you hoping the listeners get from listening to your story?
The journeys or gender and kink journey is not always the way we think it will be.
Hmm.
It will take many different avenues, many streets, and we will find ourselves where we never thought we would.
Hmm.
And that's okay. There's no one path. We don't have uh, we don't have to be kinky. We don't have to be submissive or dominant according to what other people say.
Hmm.
We can be our role the way we wish to be in our role, as long as it's healthy and consensual. But we can that's our choice. We don't have to mold ourselves to be to have a certain journey. And I think that's very important because my life has been quite a journey, to repeat myself.
Hmm.
And this phone sex was something that I never expected, and I'm grateful for it. And that will be my path.
Beautifully said. Is there anything else that we haven't covered that you'd like to speak about or share with our listeners today?
Hmm. I think that's everything. I
Hmm.
think I'm good. Is there anything that you're curious about you'd like to ask me? Or I'm
The last thing I'd just like to know from you is if you were to sum up your sexuality in just one word, what would that be at the moment?
said it at the beginning, and
Hmm.
throughout our conversation and realizing what I'm saying and learning. more, even through talking to you. I think my sexuality in eroticism is blazing because
Mm.
I am just out there and I am going for it. And I'm, yeah, I'm going my own way and I'm pretty excited for it. And it's very accurate
Mhm.
to me.
Yeah, I'm excited for you too, Jules, and I'd like to thank you for being so open and sharing yourself with me and our listeners today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Thank you again. I'm Em, and this has been the Erotic Realm podcast.
Tonight's meal, tilapia surprise with boiled cabbage. Begin cooking steps 1 through 50 now.
Are you kidding me? Making dinner shouldn't feel like doing a 1,000-piece puzzle. With Blue Apron's new one-pan assemble and bake meals, the hard part's already done. Pre-chopped ingredients, zero stress. Just assemble, bake, and enjoy. No complicated steps, no mountain of dishes. Try Assemble and Bake today. Get 20% off your first 2 orders with code APRON20. Terms and conditions apply. Visit blueapron.com/terms for more.
If you enjoyed today's episode, I'd love it if you could follow the podcast and leave a rating or review. Your support means the world to me, and it helps the Erotic Realm grow and reach more people who may benefit from hearing the inner world of fellow kinksters. I'd also love to hear from you, my listeners, if you have questions you'd like me to ask on the podcast, want to be a guest and share your story, or if you're ready to explore your Erotic Realm one-on-one with a coaching package, head over to theeroticrealm.com.